And welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment. Good to see you, Bruce. Thanks for coming in.
Nice to be here.
All right, you ready for today's question?
You bet.
Here it is. I am insurance poor and I need help figuring out what I should have. Help. Okay, first of all, just to make sure we're on the same page here, insurance poor. Is this person talking about having too much insurance or not enough insurance?
I hear that a lot. People think, oh, I've got to pay for my car insurance. I got health insurance. I got life insurance. I got all this insurance stuff. Insurance is everywhere. It's a big part of our life. So to help you figure out what maybe you should insure and what you maybe shouldn't worry about, anything that needs to be protected, that's going to create a financial burden
Down the road.
So like if it's
income.
Income. What if your car breaks down or you get hit and you don't have a vehicle? Is that important to have that protected? So, you know, it's trying to establish these expenses that we have, these premiums that we have to pay. How do I justify that in relationship to what I'm trying to protect? And it needs to be managed and reviewed on a regular basis. I mean, that's just common sense to try to get the best deal you can get for the coverage that you need in order to make it affordable. Right?
So where do you start?
Well,
just with, I mean, look around your house. What have you got? First of all, you got a house, you got a roof over your head, even if you're renting an apartment. You got the car in the driveway, like you said. Then life insurance. So where do you start?
Well, like property and casualty, let's start there. First thing you should do, review your coverage limits and your deductibles. The higher your deductible, the lower the cost. But that's the more out-of-pocket expense. So you need to have a relationship with a good, independent insurance agency. They will protect your interest. They will constantly be watching and shopping. If, you know, we have a company right now, their rates are going up 30 to 40%. So we're automatically taking every customer that we have and we are shopping with 5 or 6 other carriers to try to find a better rate to maintain the coverage that they need. Very important that you maintain your coverage. A lot of agencies will sacrifice your coverage to keep your price down. That means they're putting the burden on you. So rather than them accepting the burden for the premium. So,
and you may or may not even realize that, correct?
So, exactly. I mean, if people just go along, you know, they get a little complacent. Oh, it's just it went up a little bit. That's all right. Pay it, pay it. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I said we had a lady come in. We saved her $700 a year on her home insurance, raised, or it lowered her payment by over $50 a month, and she couldn't believe it.
And so, she probably there were things she didn't need.
Well, she just didn't realize that it had got that far out of whack.
I got it.
So the top 6 things that I think that people really need to consider, number one, and the most important, the one thing that you cannot replace is your retirement. Your retirement is there to create income into the future. So that, I think, would be a priority for me. If I've got anything to insure, it's going to be my ability to have sustainable income for the rest of my life.
What age do you need to start thinking about that, though?
At least 5 years prior to retirement.
Okay.
That's what I generally, that's a rule of thumb, but some people are different. Some people like their money more than others, and they start earlier trying to keep it protected. So either way, that's got to be a thought. How do I protect my ability to have sustainable income for the rest of my life? That's a huge, huge
it sure is.
issue to insure. Property and casualty insurance, auto insurance is required by law, so get the best deal you can. Home insurance, that's one of our largest assets that we probably don't have a spare change laying around to replace it if it burned down. So, you know, that's, you know, you want to insure that. Check your liability coverage, check your deductibles, constantly manage those rates. Your life insurance, you know, the number one thing about life insurance is creating financial stability for the family.
For the survivors.
It's replacing your lost income. Now that your wife, maybe you got a stay-at-home mom that doesn't work and now dad's gone, well, who's going to pay the bills? Where's that income going to come from?
What's the rule of thumb on how many years worth of income you might want to have on hand if something were to happen?
Well, so let's say,
age, maybe?
Let's say an example. You make $30,000 a year. Would it be too much to ask for $300,000 worth of life insurance. That's 10 times your annual income.
Yeah, not at all.
That wouldn't hardly be enough. So at current bank rates, that would create about $300 a year in interest. So how much life insurance do you need?
Right.
The number can get huge. That's why we try to find the best life insurance rates we can for the highest coverage we can get.
Exactly.
So
the right
if you
fit.
can buy $1 million worth of life insurance for 25 or 30 bucks a month at a young age, you probably should consider that if you have a family and you're wanting to protect that financial stability for them. That's kind of a priority for me, I would think.
Yeah, and somebody like Bruce can tell you the difference between the term insurance and the whole life policies. And you made a really good point on this show one time when you said, look at the little nickel and dime sort of insurance, like why in the world are you still insuring this phone that you've had for 8 years?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, what are you going to replace that? They don't make that anymore.
You're paying insurance on a phone, 7, 8, 10 bucks a month, and you've had it 5 or 6 years. And you can go sign up for a new rate plan and get one for free.
And get one for free, or put that money toward a phone that you know, is an upgraded phone for the one you had. All right.
So now,
you need
health
to look
insurance.
into health insurance is, of course, huge.
Health insurance is huge. I mean, if you're sick, you got to have, you got to pay the bills. How are you going to pay those medical bills, things like that? You got to watch your deductible there. Higher the deductible, lower the price. So, you got to decide, do I want catastrophic coverage or do I want everything covered? Well, most of us can't afford everything.